Introducing 17 silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App. That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. I've worked with high school students applying for first-year admission to colleges and universities in the United States for almost 2 decades. And the vast majority of that time was spent advising students one-on-one throughout the college admissions process as either a high school-based college counselor and or as a college admissions coach. But as you may know, I recently started offering my pre-read, which allows me to basically review an entire Common App just like an admissions officer will at a particular college or university. And once I started offering my pre-read, that offering became extremely popular. So popular, in fact, that I found myself unable to sleep in the months of August, September, October, November, and December, because that's how many people wanted my pre-read. And even though I was already an expert on the Common App and how to complete it successfully, no matter what college you were applying to, once I started getting such a deluge of pre-reads to undertake or engage in, when I had to provide my pre-read so many times to so many different students applying to so many different Common App schools, I became somewhat of an uber expert, if you will, in reviewing the Common App, to the point that I would probably make the argument now that there's really no one better than I am in terms of analyzing the Common App, because I've now seen the Common App so many times, so many different iterations of the Common App from so many different sources. I mean, it's international students, domestic students, all over the place, all aiming for all different types of schools. So I can speak with a great deal of authority as to very common mistakes that students are making on the Common App versus some very uncommon mistakes that students are making on the Common App. I can speak about very large mistakes students are making on the Common App when they complete it. I can also speak about very small mistakes students are making on the Common App. I am most, of course, interested in the very important mistakes that students are making on the Common App. And I will go so far as to call these, unfortunately, very silly mistakes that students are making on the Common App, because frankly, the vast majority of the most common mistakes are also quite very important mistakes and also are quite silly mistakes. And so I got to thinking over recent months, I got to share this with people selfishly, because if I'm going to keep doing my pre-read, I'm sick and tired of seeing the same silly mistakes over and over again when I review applications. This is not fair to students. I've learned so much about what mistakes are happening the most and also the most silly ones that I just have to share it. But then also I was thinking, this really does bode well for a course. So I haven't made a course in a number of years. As you know, I have one course already. It's called How to Build an Extraordinary Extracurricular Resume. But I was so inspired and motivated by what I was seeing on a daily basis when doing my pre-read that I decided I got to get this information out there, and we're doing a new course. And so here we are. I'm introducing today to you 17 silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App. And this is a great course. It's going to be short, but not as short as my How to Build an Extraordinary Extracurricular Resume course. It is offered now. You can find it linked in this video's description. And it's going to basically walk you through the 17 silly mistakes that I found most galling, most appalling, most disturbing, most important, and again, most silly that students make again and again and again. And this is not confined to just, I'm trying to get into a 4-year college and I'm not putting any effort in type students. These are mistakes that, frankly, even Ivy League applicants are making quite a lot. So I really have built the course to the highest standard possible. I'm not talking about oh, just put a period here or something. I mean, that would be a stupid mistake. But I'm calling this 17 silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App, because these are ridiculous mistakes that keep happening again and again. And even the supposedly strongest students keep making these mistakes. So if you take this course, whether you're aiming for a top 50 college or university in the United States, or just any old 4-year college or university in the United States that accepts the Common App, you're going to be really empowered by the end of this course to avoid 17 mistakes that really trip up way too many students. Again, you could have a high IQ, you could have a great SAT or ACT score, you could have a perfect transcript with a lot of AP or IB courses on it, and you would think you're just hot stuff, right? Well, if you can't avoid these 17 silly mistakes, what is it going to amount to? It's not going to amount to the acceptance letters you want. And so again, this is why I've created this course, because before you even engage in my pre-read, if you want my pre-read, my personal review of your entire Common App and one Common App supplement, you would be really best served to take this course first. 17 silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App, so you can just avoid being lectured to by me on my pre-read report about all the silly mistakes that you just made. Rather, use my time when I'm reviewing your Common App for me to provide deeper details as to some other issues you may be having on your Common App, as opposed to covering the ground that this amazing new course is covering by diving deep into these 17 silly mistakes and just calling them out for what they are. They are silly, they are too common, and they really bother admissions officers at very selective schools in particular. But if you can avoid making them when applying to a school that's not even that selective, you're going to be really well served and in a much stronger position to close the deal and get in to the Common App colleges on your list. I mean, the moral of the story I want you to leave this video with, at least today, whether you purchase this course or not, is that way too many students think they know what they're doing when it comes to communication. And they don't. I mean, the fact of the matter is our high schools, but our K through 12 institutions overall, elementary, middle, and high, are failing students in terms of developing students' oral and written communication skills. And the Common App captures the way in which educators around the world have failed current high school students, because students more than ever before, when I work with them, even students, again, who are completely getting amazing scores on the SAT and ACT, students who are getting straight A's at their school, who are the apple of their teacher's eye, these students are not communicating well anymore. And this is just a horrible, horrible, horrible thing that's happened. And it's because of the emphasis on everything other than proper communication. And I use that word seriously, proper communication. Yes, there is a proper way to communicate, and it is not being taught in our schools currently. So this course is going to illuminate for you the sort of intersection between all the mistakes English teachers and language arts teachers have been making with you for the last 11, 12 years or whatever, and what the outcome is on the Common App, and the outcomes that I really want you to avoid. You can do triage on your communication skills even at the last minute. Obviously, you're not going to have the massive vocabulary you should have by this age, and therefore it's still going to be sort of harder on you than it should be at this age. But if you take this course, you're going to be in a much better position to avoid the very silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App. You're going to leave seeing the forest and the trees when completing your Common App, so that you gain a definitive leg up on other applicants applying to the same colleges on your list. The biggest takeaway I want you to have from this video, though, is that it's no longer about simply being a college applicant worthy of admission. It's mainly about communicating that you are a college applicant worthy of admission. And as I say on the website for this new course, a crackerjack Common App will help you do just that. You want to, do you even know that the crackerjack is not just something you eat at a baseball game? It's an actual word. It means something. Look it up. So this course is going to be your best friend if you want to get into the most selective colleges and universities in the United States. But like I said, even if you want to get into just Okay, colleges and universities in the United States in terms of selectivity, this is going to be an insurance policy you cannot do without. So please seriously consider purchasing 17 silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App. It's been updated for the 25-26 admission cycle. If there are late breaking updates in that admission cycle or future admission cycles, I have the ability to go back in that course, add new lectures, edit lectures as appropriate. So I'm going to keep this baby up to date because this is too important to let go stale, because way too many students are making these mistakes. They are silly, and I don't want to see these silly mistakes anymore when you want my pre-read during your admission cycle itself. By the way, if you do want my pre-read, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. And this course, of course, builds upon the amazing course that is How to Build an Extraordinary Extracurricular Resume. That course is just about this topic of building an extraordinary extracurricular resume. We cover some of that ground, by the way, in this new course, but the mistakes go much broader and deeper, smaller and larger than even the extracurricular resume issue that I discuss in How to Build an Extraordinary Extracurricular Resume. So again, if you really want to cover all your bases, 17 silly mistakes that even Ivy League applicants make on the Common App is your new best friend. Purchase it. You will not regret doing so. And I wish you the very best of luck as you kick into high gear with Common App completion in the days, weeks, and or months ahead. As we wrap things up, I want to remind you that you don't have to settle for the free videos alone. As you navigate the college admissions process, get the focused and personalized coaching and expertise you need to achieve your goals. My Smart Sessions meet you where you are in order to take you where you want to go. Meanwhile, if you want proactive support throughout the college application process and want to collaborate with a dedicated expert to submit applications that are simply meticulous, reserve your preferred Simply Meticulous experience as soon as possible. Space is limited due to the time and attention to detail required to pull off these extraordinary coaching experiences. No matter your distinctive objectives, you can achieve them. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, visit my website, which is collegemeister.com. And when you've finished your Common App and want to know if it's as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate, you need my pre-read. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire application, just like an admissions officer or admissions committee will review it later, and receiving by email no later than the time you reserve a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App and one Common App supplement. If you've yet to submit your Common App, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your deadline. If you've already submitted your Common App, my pre-read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at the institution in question. To purchase my pre-read now, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.